Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm putting together my July TBR, and I don't actually have any ARCs or book club picks to read this month, so all of my reading plans are going to focus on two videos that I am very excited to work on. The first one is something I've done before. This is going to be my Summerween vlog. Summerween is a readathon hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads, and I think this is going to be like my third or fourth month participating. I just feel like horror and summer go hand in hand. I usually do Hot Ghoul Summer during July, which the only reason I'm not officially doing Hot Ghoul Summer in terms of my reading this month is because my other video plan, I wasn't able to work as many horror books into it, but I am going to be doing some like horror gaming on my Twitch channel, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to Summerween this year. They had some really fun prompts, and I'm really excited about the stack of books I put together. So for the Summerween vlog, I'm going to be reading, first up, Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio, which is for the prompt, read a book in the darker at night. This book takes place entirely over the course of a single evening, or single night, I should say, as a group of people who meet in a graveyard, or in a graveyard. It's almost like the title is Graveyard Shift. A group of people who meet in a graveyard start to investigate a freshly dug grave, and it sounds like it's going to be a little bit weird. I also thought it might be fun to try and read it in tandem with the times of each chapter, because each chapter is a different hour following a different character. However, it runs from like midnight to 10 a.m. and I like sleeping, so I'm not going to be doing that, but I did think it would be fun to read it at night since it is set at night. Second prompt is to read a horror or thriller, so this one is pretty easy to fill, and I'm going with Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. For one thing, it's short. For another thing, this has been sitting on my shelf for far too long. I read and loved Bury Your Gaze last year, and then turned around and pre-ordered Lucky Day because I enjoyed Bury Your Gaze, and then I just didn't ever read it when it came in. So I feel like this is a good time to right that wrong and actually read it, and it sounds like a really fun premise because it's a horror story entirely based on probability. So I'm really curious to see what Chuck Tingle has done with that premise. It sounds like it's going to be a good time. The third prompt is to read a new-to-you author, and this is going to be the only big book that I'm putting on this TBR since it is only a week-long readathon, but this is The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. I've been wanting to try something from this author for a while now because I've just heard so many great things about her books, and this was also a birthday gift to me last year, I think, from my partner's parents, so I feel like this is a good moment to pick it up and actually read it, and hopefully I'll end up enjoying Tananarive Due's work because I know she has a pretty good backlist I could dive into from here. Our fourth prompt was to read a book with some pink on it, and I'm going to go with Sundial by Catriona Ward. I just don't have a lot of horror books with pink on them. It was kind of this or Murder Road by Simone St. James, but this one has been on my shelf for a lot longer, and it's a little bit shorter, so I feel like it works better for a short readathon, and I've heard this one, like a lot of Catriona Ward's work, is a little bit weird, so I'm curious to see if I end up liking this one or not. I don't remember a lot about the premise. I believe it's about a mother and daughter who end up going back to the mother's hometown in like the New Mexico desert, and then weird things happen, but I have no idea what to expect going into this one. And then finally, we had a prompt to read a book under 250 pages, and I'm going with The Long Trial of Nolan Dugatti by Stephen Graham Jones, so I am well under that 250 page mark. But this sounds like a weird novella about this guy whose father has tried to commit suicide several times and has not succeeded, and then the day that the guy is finishing up his final day at a video game developer that is shutting down, it's his final day of work, and he's doing the closing shift, he gets a call from a detective asking about his father. So it sounds like those two sides of his life are going to converge in some way, and I don't know what else to expect going into this one either. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit weird, and I think this is maybe one of Stephen Graham Jones' older books that has been republished recently. I know a whole set of his older novellas just recently got republished. It Came from Del Rio was another one that I read recently that was from that set. So I think this is maybe a part of that same set. I can't remember exactly. But either way, I typically like Stephen Graham Jones' writing, so I'm excited to give it a shot. The other video I'm really excited to work on is my next in a series that I'm starting on my channel, which is, it's in need of a catchy title, but the video idea is basically Jacob picks my reading prompts. So back in like April, Jacob put together a whole list of reading prompts for me, and I used a D20 to pick from that list, and it got very chaotic and fun. We had a great time filming it. He really enjoyed coming up with the prompts for it, and I had a great time reading the books. So we've just decided to make that a quarterly feature. We thought it would be fun to just continue updating the prompt list until we get bored of it. So this is going to be the second installment of that, and we have already picked the books. I'm not going to tell you what they are because that vlog will probably be coming out later in July if I had to guess. Sorry for me turning my back on you. I had to pick up the stack, but I am going to be reading hopefully 5 books for that video as well. This is what I've come up with You'll have to watch the vlog, though, to actually see what the prompts were and what I got for them. So I'm very excited for this. This is going to be a very fun stack of books. Picking the prompts for this second installment in the series was really, really fun, and I'm so excited for that to come out, hopefully at the end of July, as it's intended to. The first one was a little bit late because it took me a little while to finish up the last book, but we are keeping our fingers crossed that I can keep up with my reading pace. In July, I accidentally knocked my Rosy Maple Mothman off my shelves, so let me just gently put it back in its place. So these are all of the books I am planning to read in July. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these and what you thought of them and what you're planning to read in July. I would love to hear about it, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I hope you consider giving it a like, maybe even subscribing to see what comes next. I'm currently posting at least once a week, and I hope to see you in the next video.